question is if I could talk about the meaning of Sri Hari's Aarti that we sing here for Bhagwan. They are different names of God and aspects of feminine and masculine energy, Devi and Vishnu. And the entire Aarti is singing there. If I say there, it confuses people. If I say his, it confuses people. If I say her, it really confuses people. So, transcending all these confusions, because it's one, it's just singing their glories. It's the one time when a child says to his parents, I love you, without expecting anything in return. Normally, when a child says, I love you, mother says, what do you want now? So, in this Aarti, the child is not asking for anything in return. The child is simply saying, thank you for being who you are, and we are recalling the names of God based on sometimes the action they performed in the past or the very incarnation they took on this planet and appeared here or in other lokas, not just on this planet. So that's the Aarti. The very word Aarti, though, has its root from the word Aarth. Aarth means somebody who is dukhi, somebody who is distressed, somebody who's sad, somebody who's down, somebody who's feeling low. Not because of any material reason, but more so emotionally or psychically or psychologically. So that person is called Aarth in Sanskrit. When somebody is offering all their grief to a higher power, we are doing what we call Aarti. And the Sanskrit word for Aarti is Aratrikam, which is when you offer your grief, but somewhere it's with a feeling of love. It's not offering your grief as a patient would do to a doctor or would do in front of a doctor. It's more that a child would do with his or her parents. It's more you sharing your grief with somebody you love. And that's why this Aarti. But I thought there is so much on his shoulders anyway. So he already knows everybody's grief. So why to bombard him with, please take away this grief and that grief, please fix this in my life, or please fix that? Because he's very innocent, but he's too smart to listen to those please. So he knows what to ignore, what just to let it be. That's why his body is of stone. Just whatever you pour comes off it. So my view was that when we sing his Aarti, it should just be his glories for a change. Once a very rich man, it's a true story in India, was telling somebody I know, this guy is a billionaire, and he said to this person, he said, the reason I don't go to religious places, he said, they all just need money from me. That was this billionaire's view. He said, all they need is money. They're looking forward to have what bigger check I can write. So some people thought it was a very sad state to think like that. At the same time, he has a point. At the same time, there is some truth in his statement. So he just doesn't go to any place which has any religious connotation whatsoever. Similarly, when a devotee calls upon God, he knows why I'm being called. We can sugarcoat it with anything. But deep inside, because He is deep inside you, He is the key as well as the lock. So deep inside, He knows why I am being called. That when the objective is going to be fulfilled, I am not going to matter. I am not being called for me, I am being called for what I can do for this person. And that pollutes a prayer or the prayer that a person does. The moment, you see, as a devotee, you have the right to share your sorrows and your joys, your desires and your grief and your pain and what have you with God. Absolutely. I'm not saying even for a moment you can't say to God, look, I'm really suffering. Because ultimately, He's the only listener anyway. So if not Him, then who else? What I am saying though, is the moment my prayers start to suggest what I think is a fix for my solution, that moment I am no longer sharing my grief, I am actually now asking what I want. And no matter how sure I may be, it's probably not what I need. So human being almost always focuses on what I want, because I mistakenly believe that what I want is what I need. But He, the Supreme Soul, the mind with the capital M, Indrinam Manaschasmi, Bhutanam Asmi Chetana, the consciousness, knows better. He is an adept. He knows how to differentiate between what you want and what you need. And it's not the same thing. And so in Aarti, the idea is, let's put away for a moment what I want and what I need and what I think I may need and what I think I'm lacking in my life. Instead, why can't I just be grateful? So Aarti, in my view, is just about being grateful. And one can never be grateful enough. Gratitude is such a thing, no matter how much you express, there is still room for more. No matter how grateful you are, there is still room for more in life. The more you express, the stronger you become. Because gratitude helps you see at the brighter side of life. Exactly is the case with Aarti. Helps you see the brighter side of divinity.